Spike Lee's films have always stood out to me as aesthetically beautiful, with deep underlying visual storytelling. The man behind the visual side of the storytelling is Ernest Dickerson. The two met during their time at NYU.
We were both lovers of cinema, so we started talking about our dreams, the movies we wanted to make. And one of them was to do the autobiography of Malcolm X. But it's one of those things, you talk about it, but you don't really think it's ever going to happen.
Dickerson's cinematography works as an additive using lights, camera movements, and character placement to immerse the audience into the story's surroundings and characters. In order to show the increased intricacy, we are going to follow the timeline of the making of these films. In She's Gotta Have It, Dickerson utilizes a lot of contrast with grays, blacks, and whites. The lighting in the film has the tendency to accentuate our protagonist and convey her feelings. In Nola's intimate scene with her male student, Greer is a guy that Nola is less interested in. Their shots are completely lit with a fast motion element, making their feelings depicted more physical. Jamie is a guy Nola is more interested in romantically. Their scenes together contain soft lighting with slow motion and candles to add a more sensual look. These elements foreshadow her choice when she is forced to make a decision between the three men at the end of the movie. The musical scenes transform the audience into a world that has the same issues but with music and choreography. For example, in the specific Straight and Nappy musical number, it gives golden era Hollywood vibes, but more intricately executed with the fluidity of the camera movements. According to Dickerson in the ASC magazine, American Cinematographer, he used styles in classic musicals with the 1940s Technicolor look. The colors are similar to the only colored scene that's in She's Gotta Have It. Notice the bright reds and the blues? School Day's ending scene has so many different layers. We see a minor double dolly that mimics the character ascending into the air. The light is overexposed and warm on the main character Dap. It cuts to the characters inside the building. We can see overexposed light beaming through the windows. Do the Right Thing sits in the middle of these 5 films with an ingenious lighting technique that messes with the audience psychologically, bringing them into the turmoil of this specific world.
Keep people cooler and calmer. A lot of submarine interiors are painted in blues and greens, which are cooler colors, which have a tendency to slow the heart rate down and are more calming.
Dickerson utilizes Dutch angles to create tension and to enhance it. A great example is most of the scenes with Radio Raheem. With the low angle POV of the characters and the high angle POV of him, it portrays a sense of intimidation and can foreshadow the police brutality that he faces in the end of the film. After a passionate love affair with each other, Flipper and Angie hit a rough patch. In turn, to reflect this disconnect, Dickerson lights Angie fully with a black background, leaving Flipper dark with a light background. This in turn exaggerates the contrast, increasing intensity immensely because it's the last frame in the shot. The double dolly, on the other hand, has so far been used in important scenes such as Dap rising into the air and as we'll see in Malcolm X during the climax, but the usage of it in Jungle Fever didn't have that much significance. Every shot is completely intensified in Malcolm X. We have a 360 camera spin, a normal Dutch angle to intensify paranoia on the audience, and a wide lens that shows warm golden background lights in a circular pattern that exaggerate a gigantic mosque. Patterns seem to be a common aspect played upon. The pattern in this scene accentuates the story perfectly because Malcolm is questioning Muhammad's intentions. The key light is so intense that it hides parts of the character's face. Another aspect is the moderate use of both warm and cool in the film. Notice how the prison scene has more of a bluer tone in the beginning of the film. Malcolm's white cigarette is completely white, but on the other side, his towel is a little bit golden. Prison is more of a lost time in Malcolm's life compared to the warm color in the beginning.
Opening shot is of one of the Boston elevated trains going through the frame. And we decided to shoot it on a track in Brooklyn.
We shot in Williamsburg and painted the train like the old Boston subway.
It was the most difficult shot in the film, I think.
It was the first day of shooting.
Cinematography is not just about getting the right shot. It's about storytelling, conveying emotions. With a collage of clips from the film, Dickerson has shown that as a fact.